Bing, ba bing, 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 do 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 do. All right, guys. All right. Beautiful. So, this is a video from Young Don the Sauce God. My mouse is acting up. It's being a little annoying, and it is a bad. It's a criticism of Hasan. It's from Young Don the Sauce God, and frankly, I'm interested in watching it mostly because Young Don the Sauce God. He's a little sussy. I've seen some less than stellar takes from him before. I don't really like how he has conversations. He's a little rude. He's very confidently wrong, though, which is great for him. I remember his last conversation with Sneeko, and they were talking about disproportionate, attacks from black people to Asians, and we talked about like why that would happen, proximity and a ton of other factors. Systemic oppression, pushing black people to the bottom of the totem pole. But the reality is, it was an objective truth that black people were disproportionately targeting Asian people. Again, that's not an inherent trait to black people. It's like a, systemic racism, whatever. Anyway, and he just kind of showed us information and said that this proves him right, even though it proved him wrong. It was weird. Anyway, he's criticizing Hasan. I'm curious about it. It says Hasan enforces after-birth abortion. I don't know what that means. I cannot imagine that there's any way that I can come out of this video. I usually disagree with Hasan. I don't think that it's possible to, based on what's happening here. But, sometimes he finds a way. Let's see what we got here.
Steven Crowder really thought...
All right.
Steven Crowder really thought he was winning here, wasn't he, guys?
Okay, I guess that's the name of
At least that's the title of the video by Hasan Abi. Is that how you say his last name? Hasan Abi? Abby?
I think it's Hasan Abi, but okay.
Whatever. Anyways, this guy was recently put on my radar by, a few other... I've seen him floating around, but I never once decided to really explore his content because it was clear at face value that we disagree on pretty much everything of significance. But, thanks to him recently going back and forth with people like Abba and Preach and Gideon, I decided to explore a little further because it was clear to me that this guy has quite a strong fan base. He has quite a presence online, and I wanted to see what all the hype was about. Is this the libertarian messiah, or could he be...
Oh, libertarian? Do I just not understand words? A libertarian? No, not at all. He's like I guess you'd say he's a democratic socialist.
Conservative antichrist.
What?
Libertarian messiah, or could he be the conservative antichrist?
My understanding is libertarians are conservative. I wouldn't say those two juxtapose each other. Okay.
Anyway, let's see.
No one is racist in California?
No racist in California? Come on, there's no way. Ever been to Venice? I live in California too. I've seen racists everywhere.
Okay, there are definitely racist motherfuckers in California. I don't know what she's saying.
Okay.
Wait, why is Steven Crowder coming across like a lib here? I mean, there are.
We're talking about all these protests there a couple days ago here about the Roe v. Wade situation.
Sure, absolutely.
So clearly we start off, he's reacting to a video by Steven Crowder. Hey, thank you, Romeo. And Steven Crowder is interviewing a black woman, and the title, suggests that we're going to be talking about racism, but that's not how this video starts off. Let's get right into it.
So first, let me ask you consider yourself pro-choice, pro-life, pro-choice with limitations? How would you define it?
I'm definitely pro-choice.
Okay.
I'm definitely pro-choice.
Okay.
All right, so here we go. She tells everybody that she's pro-choice. Okay, let's see where the conversation goes from here.
What's your opinion on the overturning of Roe v. Wade?
It's ridiculous, As a woman, I think it's astronomical how we could consider, no offense to you, but how a heterosexual male can tell me what I should and should not do with my...
It's interesting that...
Before, I'm probably going to have an agreement on this topic. Listen, man, we live in a society. I know, very Joker arc of me. But we do live in a society. I think that everybody has the ability to be able to weigh in on whether we should make abortion illegal or not. I understand women tend to have more invested in the decision. Let's be honest. I get that. But I think everybody has the ability to weigh in on it. I mean, it's part of a society. But I get where she's coming from because ultimately the decision is has a much less or a much greater impact on her than a guy. So you don't have a whole lot of skin in the game.
that women have this position about, oh, how dare a heterosexual male tell me, a woman, what I can do with my body. Now, even though that is really not the point of what anyone on the pro-life side is saying, in fact, we care very little about what it is that you choose to do with your body. We are most concerned, pretty much only concerned about what you do with the body that is growing inside you, the one that you more than likely place there intentionally with your actions. But beyond that, Roe v. Wade was enacted by all men.
Well, I don't know if I would say intentionally. Like, you'd have to have intent to, so I would contest that, in the sense that I don't think that people intentionally put a baby in their body and then end up getting abortions. You know, like the intent is usually not there. It's usually they're unintentionally putting in their bodies because they're not being safe enough is usually what actually happens. But okay.
All heterosexual men are responsible for Roe v. Wade even coming into place in the first place. It's convenient that you're okay with this law that apparently tells you, a woman, what to do with your body when it was designed by men, but when other men want to play a part in dismantling it because it is not a constitutional right, which is what this whole argument is about. This is not about banning abortion. Oh, if only we would ban abortion, I wish. But this is really about overturning the decisions to the state level. That's what this has always been about, this whole Roe v. Wade thing. To say that this is not a right that is protected by the Constitution. Also, this is not something that should be decided on the federal level. That's all this is about. So let's keep it pushing.
My body. I think there's so many stipulations that go into this. Pregnancies, tubal pregnancies, things that happen to your body that require abortions for medical.
Name one. There is not.
Well, there are very rare instances where, like, there would be like a medical necessity as to why, like, you'd have to get an abortion. Like, it's not nearly as prevalent as people like to say it is. I think like less than 1% of abortions happen due to those circumstances, but they do exist. I don't know individually if states would like be okay with an abortion in those cases. I'm not entirely sure how those laws like manifest themselves necessarily. I think that there should at least be, well, I mean, I'm pro-choice. I think that we should be pro-choice regardless, but there should at least be an exception for, I think that there should at least be an exception for, you know, like rape, incest, and, you know, if the mother or the child's life are threatened in some capacity.
Not a single instance where in order to save a woman's life, you need to kill the child. You can't name one. Now, there are instances.
Well, there are instances where that does happen. Yeah, it's just not, yeah, what do you mean?
Instances where a woman has a high-risk pregnancy, meaning if she tries to deliver the child naturally, then she could possibly die and the child could possibly die as well.
Well, even if she tries to have it unnaturally, I guess you'd say, like with C-section thing, again, they're really rare, but they do exist. I mean, it's just an outlier argument. I wouldn't say that it's like the best argument to generally make.
However, in instances like those, C-section is the remedy. You remove the baby surgically, killing the.
It's bizarre to me that like he just thinks that there is never. Oh, I just really fucked up. That he thinks that there's like never an instance where this would happen. I don't know why he thinks that, because there are instances where like, yeah, the mother could die or the baby could die, and then, you know, but anyway, like I said, they're rare. It's just like interesting that he's just completely denying their existence.
The baby, i.e. abortion, is an extra step that is unnecessary.
Yeah, that's true too. If the mother has cancer, she needs to get treatment while she's pregnant. Yeah, I mean, I guess that's true. Again, these are outlier arguments, but they do exist. But okay.
Baby is very premature and unable to be sustained even in an NICU or a NICU. That is not an abortion if the baby dies because it is unable to live outside of the womb. That is just an unfortunate reality of the situation. But it is not an abortion. An abortion is an intentional extra step to kill the baby.
I mean, if we're gonna get technical, I think, and I could be wrong, I'm pretty sure that like a miscarriage is considered an abortion. Maybe I'm just being too technical. The general understanding of what an abortion is a deliberate termination. So
baby after the fact, how does that baby's heart beating or not affect the mother's health if the goal is just to remove the baby from the mother in a safe way? Why does the baby's heart need to stop beating in order to protect the mother? It doesn't make any sense. C-section surgeries are routine procedures that can be done.
I would argue here, here's the thing, I would argue that in these cases where there's like a threat to the mother or the child's life, in these third term abortions, I very highly doubt I just very highly doubt that anybody's like, yeah, I really wanted to keep this baby, but you know, like, I would imagine that if you got to that far in, that mothers aren't like, yeah, let's just kill it, fuck it. Like, they're probably really upset about that whole situation going on in the first place. You know what I mean? Like, if you get to that point where you're like, yeah, I'm like 8 months pregnant, but the baby might die, like they're gonna make a decision that will have the best impact on their baby, of course. Like, I mean, I guess maybe some people abuse it. I guess it depends. I would argue that they're probably acting in like fair, reasonable faith if you get to that point. But I guess I don't. There's some instances maybe where they just regret it and they use it as an excuse. I don't really know.
By most any surgeon in a hospital. It's one of the most common surgeries that take place in the modern emergency room or in a modern hospital. It is a very low risk surgery at this. And either way, the risk to the mother's health is the same regardless of whether or not you kill the baby or not. So this argument, this is one of the pillars, the main arguments that people in the pro-choice or pro-abortion community stand on. Oh, the health of the mother. Well, I just debunked it for you. I just explained to you why it is that you do not need to kill the baby in order to remove the baby. It's just a C-section or you induce pregnancy. You don't need to crush the skull of the baby in order to remove it. It's no different than removing any other organ or growth from the human body that needs to be removed for medical reasons.
For reasons for us as women to like literally live and survive.
Okay, she's spitting, which by the way,
She's not spitting.
this is a weird part of just like living in America where like every random person, you know what I mean? You can be like a random American citizen, especially if you're like a woman, somewhat liberal minded person. Like you have to literally become this like talking point machine. You know what I mean? Like no normal human being should have to constantly be on the defensive and like have a fucking spreadsheet of facts ready to.
You do when you're talking about murdering babies, you fucking, I promise I wasn't gonna do any name.
I'm just looking into here. Abortions performed after 20 weeks of gestation when not done by induction of labor, which leads to fetal death due to prematurity, are most commonly performed of dilation. So I would imagine that like forced early births are probably still considered abortions. I don't know how the statistics line up. They're more commonly referred to dilation, blah, blah. Late-term abortion is not an exact medical term, but it has been used as times to refer to surgical dilation, evacuation, dismemberment abortions, as well as the intact dilation. Graphic, unpalatable nature of abortions. Many concerns. Okay. I mean, well, they define late-term abortion as like 20 weeks post. I don't know if this is the best resource. Okay. All right, let's keep watching.
Calling because he does that a lot. That's his thing. I want to just attack his points. But if I know you don't believe that babies in the womb are actual people, in fact, later in this video, Hasan admits that we should be able to abort babies after they've been born. That is,
I feel like there's no way he admits that. There's just no way Hasan admits that you. I just don't believe it. Like I'm not a particularly large Hasan fan, but there's absolutely no way that this guy says that. I just don't believe it. I can't. There's no, it's impossible. But okay.
murder, literally in the eyes of every government. Killing a living human being is murder, and he believes that you should be able to abort children after they have been born, but we'll get to that later in the video. So we know he's evil. We know that for a fact. You want to kill an innocent newborn baby because it's an inconvenience to—
Well, show us that you can't assert that he's evil, but without showing us the proof. Okay.
Somebody, you're an evil person. We get it. But to talk about the point of, oh, everybody gotta have their talking points, right? When you're talking about what is potentially literally infanticide, literally more bodies than the Holocaust, I think it's worth knowing where the fuck you stand on the matter. I think it's worth discussing. If you value the life of innocent children to any degree, then it's something worth thinking about. Why it is that you stand on whichever side of the fence you stand.
To just like fire off.
Well, yeah, I mean, sure. Like here's the reality, man. Like, It really is like a social construct whether we think a fetus is a human life or not. I mean, it is a potential human life. Left to its own devices, chances are it's going to it will be born as a human being. So, like, you know, we can't pretend that it's an absolute nothing. I think that's where a lot of pro-choice people fall. They're like, yeah, it's nothing. We don't really put any real value into it. Because the concept is like, yeah, you know, if we just didn't fertilize the egg, what's to really matter? I mean, that's what it comes down to. For the most part, I would say that there's usually conversation about when the baby is considered a baby in people's eyes. Usually it's like when it's born, for the most part. Like, I'm more of a first trimester guy, personally. It's a hard decision because, like, you're killing something that will become a human. But realistically speaking, if we made it illegal, I mean, one argument is like, yeah, people are still going to get them unsafely. But more than that is, yeah, it'll also reduce the amount of abortions that happen significantly. Like, I think we have like 1 million in America a year. It'll probably go down, let's say 100,000. Honestly, I don't think it's, you know, it's how many people would actually be born instead, right? So, like, people would stop. Let's just say like only 10% of those babies are born. Like, it stops, you know, people, maybe they act safer, maybe they do, maybe they don't. Let's say people act safer and we birth only it reduces abortion. People stop using it as an argument. They are safer or whatever, and only 100,000 of those babies are born a year. That's a lot of kids to put into like the foster care system. And I know people are going to be like they're going to be upset, but the reality is like we have limited resources. And most of the people who are going to be having these or birthing these babies are going to be poor people, because poor people tend to like disproportionately get abortions. They're going to go into the system, or they're going to go on welfare programs. It'll collapse our welfare state, so we have to get rid of welfare. It's going to drastically destroy our quality of life and our strength as a country, because like welfare programs are directly linked to successes of countries. Whether you want to believe that or not is your prerogative, but it's just the fact of the matter. And so at the end of the day, you're making a choice of, and it's fucked up, but you're making a choice of whether to like, cut welfare programs and make a ton of more people suffer, including born children that are already in overburdened systems. I mean, that's your choice. It's effectively what you're doing. Or we can have abortions. People die regardless. And I don't really like that people like to pretend that that's not true. Oftentimes too, a lot of people who are pro-choice, or excuse me, pro-life, they don't really care what happens after the baby's born. They'll say like, no, I think that we should focus on adoption, this and another thing, but they don't really, there's no Republican legislation making adoption less expensive, or having like more robust, increasing the strength of foster care systems whatsoever. Nobody really gives a shit. It's like, hey, when the baby's born, I care until the baby's born, then I don't really give a fuck anymore, and the baby's like, so nobody really gives a shit. That's the reality, because there's a lot of things that you could do. Like I said, you can make it easier to adopt. You could put more funds into foster care systems. You could also deal with the wealth distribution problem. Again, poor people tend to have a disproportionately more abortions. Less poverty would equal less abortions. More education would equal less abortions. More access to, healthcare, or excuse me, more access to better sex education would reduce the amount of abortions. Because a lot of times people are told as kids, don't fuck, or it's evil and you're gonna die. That's really that's how I learned. That's how I learned healthcare. Don't fuck, because it's evil and you're gonna die. And it's like, when that happens, what happens is that kids will be afraid until their horniness urges fucking take them over, and then they start fucking, and then they're like, wow, I didn't die of an STD the first time I had sex. It's not so bad. And then all of a sudden they're just practicing incredibly unsafe sexual intercourse. And, that's kind of the reality of the world that happens. Yeah, man. So
such is the nature of being like a fucking normal human being in America, where you're just like, oh, at any given moment, I might have a Steven Crowder style situation where I
think it's safe to say that most of us are able to go through life on a day-to-day basis without being attacked by some random interviewer like a Steven Crowder asking you where your stance is on abortion. I'm sure if we did a poll here, we would get 0 out of the 600 plus people here have ever been interviewed by Steven Crowder on where they stand on abortion, right? So I think it's safe to say that no, that is not the reality of the average American. But these are the I
would say that, generally speaking, people in general, I don't know if it's an American thing or other countries too, they usually have to be a little more educated on politics, because people don't shut the fuck up about it. In general, everybody's always talking about politics and your real life and all that shit. So,
ungrounded, or he pulls this shit out of his ass, statements like this to try and give his weak argument some legitimacy. That is not a reality of majority of Americans. Most people never get pressed in public.
I wonder why young Don chose Hasan to make his reaction video off of, of all the people that he could have made a reaction off of. It's just a question.
Views like this.
Obviously, 2 minutes in, and Steven Crowder has not, I'm beginning to notice black woman thinks no one's racist in California. I love that this part didn't make it to the fucking title.
Right. I'm sure you've never once started a video not addressing the topic of the video or the title of the video. A veteran YouTuber as yourself, it's called clickbait. But again, I wasn't even paying attention. I'm just going to spend the money. I totally was not paying attention. Holy shit. You can't attack a man for his actual points. You nitpick. He's going to complain about Steven Crowder nitpicking later, but that is every single video where you disagree with a conservative on a topic like abortion. You just nitpick at things that have nothing to do with the point, because your argument is based on feelings and it's weak.
I wonder why.
So none of those other things matter then.
I don't really think the abortion argument's based on feelings. I would argue that being pro-life is based on feelings, the way that you feel about something that's that you don't want to think about. Because again, you guys don't give a singular fuck after somebody's born, so it's it's also based on a feeling by that logic. But okay.
We could have just eliminated all that. Just, do you think people should really get an abortion for whatever reason?
I think you should be able to make any decision as far as HIPAA laws are concerned for yourself and your body at any time.
So what
I
is
disagree with
Okay,
that.
again, the argument about, oh, this is a decision she's making for her own body. No, this is a decision you are making on behalf of somebody else. A decision that will end their life. A decision that will end an innocent life without their consent. That is who we are
Well, God says that you're born guilty, so technically they're not innocent.
talking about. There are all kinds of decisions that you are not allowed to make as a free, independent American in this country, right? If you have children, for example, you can't just abandon your children on the side of the road. You're not allowed to drown your children because they become inconvenient to you. You have to feed them. You have to take care of them. You are legally bound to do these things. You can't just decide to go because you're bored and you want to go to a party, so you leave your newborn unattended to at home. You're not allowed to do that. There are rules that we have put in place that govern what we can and cannot do. You can smoke.
And one of the rules that we put in place is that you can get an abortion. So the rule argument, again, like we socially understand that a fetus is not the same as like an actual child. Like that is the societal construct that we have come up with, and I think it's a reasonable construct. It's that's again, once it gets to a certain point, hey, it has like it's a level of being a human being, but like the unfortunate reality is that like abortion is a necessary evil. That's it.
At home, you can't smoke in an airplane. There are all kinds of rules that we have agreed to because we recognize that it is for the best of everyone in society. And I don't see an argument that can be made where killing an innocent infant is good for anybody. In part,
Well, I mean, again, they're not infants. They literally are. They're not infant. I mean, you're not using the correct terminology. But I gave you one, and it's like an unfortunate reality. Like I gave you one before about how like our welfare systems will collapse, et cetera, et cetera. It's going to end up like it really will just cause like the end of society. I don't know what else to tell you. It's unfortunate. I'm not like haha funny stuff. Like who the fuck wants to say that? If I could live in a world, I would make like if ideally I don't think abortion should exist. But it's not about whether I think it should or shouldn't exist. It's about like the necessity of the access of having an abortion.
particular, the person you're killing, the person that you put there, the person that didn't ask to be there.
Because a lot of people have different interpretations or understandings of what the overturning of Roe v. Wade is.
Actually means.
Yeah. What is your interpretation of what would happen if Roe v. Wade is overturned?
My interpretation is that it doesn't matter what your reasoning is, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, that abortions will now be illegal, or at least in the state of Texas, for anybody.
No.
And here we go. Something that is so common on the left. And to be fair, people on the right are also misinformed.
Well, I mean, I don't know specifically about Texas, but I would imagine Texas is a state that doesn't particularly care for abortions. So they would probably make it illegal. They would probably put heavy restrictions. I'm pretty sure Texas is one of the states that's trying to put like drastic restrictions on abortion. Is that wrong? I mean, I don't think it's an unreasonable assumption to make. It means the state gets a choice. How is she? I don't know if she's wrong.
But the fact that people are willing to dig their heels in so strongly, advocating for the murder of infants, when they don't even know what the fuck they're talking.
Bro, you can't use that terminology. Okay. So an infant is a very young child or baby. A fetus is not an infant. Like, it's just objectively incorrect. Like that, we have not. That's not included in the terminology. It's fine to make this kind of a grandstanding moral argument. It's totally fine. But you have to acknowledge that, like, you have to acknowledge that you're not using correct terms for these. You're producing a very moral argument, so that, like, it's a moral shame argument. You have to be aware of that. Like, you're just misinforming people on the way that this conversation goes. Yeah, he's defending something he's misinformed about. He's using the incorrect definitions. You know, it hurts your argument when you're being like condescending to somebody and while being wrong. I mean, it doesn't make you look very, very good. It's fine that you're pro-choice or pro-life, but I'm just saying, like, I'm just saying.
About overturning Roe v. Wade does not make abortion illegal regardless of where you live. It simply overturns the decision to the states. I think
that's not what she said. She said in Texas, it's going to mean that abortion will be illegal. I'm pretty sure that's what she said. She didn't say it's going to make it illegal everywhere at all. Right?
Every state.
Are you gaslighting me?
People are willing to dig their talking about overturning decision to the people on the right are also. And here we go.
Abortions will now be illegal, or at least in the state of Texas.
Yeah, she said they'll be illegal in Texas. I believe she's correct. He's going off on a tangent. She's like, I believe abortions will be illegal in Texas. Your arguments are wrong. She's not wrong. She didn't. What the fuck?
Talking about overturning Roe. I mean, Roe v. Wade does not make abortion illegal regardless of where you live.
That's not what she said. She said it would be illegal in Texas. Now maybe that's wrong. but I'm pretty sure she's correct. It would be made illegal in Texas.
Simply overturns the decision to the states. I think every state, that's just how shit is set up. Every state gets to decide based on.
He's just literally not listening to what she's saying. She said it would be made illegal in Texas. Like, I'm very confused. Like, how do you miss these really simple arguments? I don't understand. Oh my God.
On their own morals and values and culture, because every state in America might as well be its own fucking country, the way how big our states are. So it's not uncommon that two states, especially ones that are separated by great distances, have very different cultures and very different ways of life. And so to hold one state, which could very well be its own country, you know, beholden to the values of another state that has a completely different culture, you can see how that would cause problems.
Sure, that's fine. Your argument's fine. It's just that, like, she never made this argument you're claiming she made. So your argument is like, it's not like relevant in that sense. Like, what you're going off on a tangent on something. She's like, yeah, it would be made illegal in Texas. Oh, you're wrong. It won't be illegal everywhere. She said Texas. And then you're going on talking about how different states have different cultures, which, yeah, for sure. I get that. Fundamentally, I think each state should be able to govern itself. You know, I mean, sure. I mean, I don't know about the abortion. Sure. With abortion, I guess so too. Fine. I mean, but I'm just saying, you know, like what you're saying is just fucking wrong. You're misinterpreting her argument.
Which is why it makes sense to overturn a decision like this, one that has to do so much with morality, you know, deciding the life of children to the state level. Here in Texas, where people are mostly conservative, mostly aligned with Judeo-Christian values, right? Not everyone here in Texas is a Christian or even religious, but most people who grew up in this culture or who like this culture or who are assimilated to this culture, their views and values oftentimes align with Judeo-Christian values. And so if you want to be in fucking Oregon or fucking New York,
so you're agreeing with what she's saying though, while saying that she's wrong. I don't understand. You're this guy's fucking nuts. Holy shit.
Or LA, where that kind of, you know, where debauchery and just the very worst ways of, you know, the wicked human nature are allowed to flourish and proliferate through society. Don't hold us Texans to those standards. No thanks. We don't want that. Okay, there's no parts of that. Y'all keep
so you're agreeing with what she's saying while saying that she's wrong.
That shit over there. Y'all want to be killing babies by the thousands? Do that shit over there. We don't get down like that. So that's a fair approach. Now, of course, if I was dictator of fucking America, abortion would just be illegal outright because I fucking said so, and because all of my points clearly defeat any points that a pro-choice person wants to make.
I mean, listen, not for nothing. I don't even know if you are educated on your own points. I don't know what you're talking about. You can't even properly interpret her argument. I just feel like that really hurts your "I'm smarter than you" argument. Okay.
How systematically, you know, debunk any point you want to make, including rape. We'll get there if we get there in the video, but even rape is not a reason to kill a child. It's just
disagree. I 100% disagree. Like, what a fucking horrible thing to force a woman to go through to birth a child after they were raped. I mean, like, I just disagree with what you're saying. I think it comes from like a lack of understanding or compassion for women that are raped. I don't think that you really care about people who are sexually assaulted. It's probably why you feel this way. But okay.
It's an innocent child. I don't see why we need to go any further than that. It's a baby. It's a baby. Hold the rapist accountable. I know that's where people always like to go thinking, oh, this is my fucking, you know, trump card. No, it's not. Unfortunately, it's not. In no other instance do we hold a child of criminals accountable for the crimes of their father. We don't lock little kids up because their dads are drug
Well, a fetus isn't a child. I mean, that would be the general argument. So, okay.
dealers or murderers or, you know, robbers. So in this one instance where the father commits a heinous crime against a woman, the person who gets the harshest punishment is the person who is most innocent in the situation. Execution. We don't execute rapists, unfortunately.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
But we'll execute the baby who had nothing to do with it. It's an innocent life. So really and truly, all that comes down to is what is the value we place on human life. And if I'm allowed to murder a baby because it's their
again, like I don't know what value do we I don't know, man. It's just like a weird argument. I place a lot of value on human life. Okay, and oh my god. Again, after the baby's born, nobody gives a fuck anymore. Conservatives don't tend to give a shit. So okay.
An inconvenience to me, or I don't like the way they came about. Why can't I murder you if I don't like if you're an inconvenience to me now?
Well, because you're a person and a fetus isn't a person. I mean, that would be that's your argument.
Why? Because you're a person?
Yeah. What?
So is that baby? But we'll get more into it.
I think it took a long time for.
Again, it's an individual interpretation, but society has deemed a baby to not really be a person.
this way to even become about and to pass, and that if we aren't careful, history will continue to repeat itself over and over again. So the fact that that law is what it is, I don't know why we're going back and trying to now tweak that.
The issue was, right, Roe v. Wade was sort of under the guise, it was settled under the guise of the 14th Amendment, the Due Process Clause.
Okay.
So there's no constitutional right to an abortion.
Okay.
And it's interesting because you just mentioned sort of the HIPAA laws. Okay. And the idea was that under the Due Process Clause, there's a right to privacy, which also isn't necessarily a constitutional right, but under the Due Process Clause, that a woman had that right to privacy with her doctor and allowed state.
Why? Who cares?
And this is how this man argues, right? So Steven Crowder just rattled off a good amount of information.
I mean, sure, maybe they have like a strong argument to say that like it shouldn't be a constitutional right. I mean, maybe they're right. I don't know if, I mean, I think that everybody should be able to get an abortion, but okay, if that's your argument that you just don't think it's a constitutional right, like, okay, I guess you have like a standing there. I mean, I personally wouldn't like live and die on that point, I guess.
Information relevant to the conversation, responding to her points. His response, who cares? So what? How is that an argument? How is this your king? Who cares? Is that an argument? Is this the debate king of Twitch? That everyone seems to be.
Nobody in any capacity ever thinks that he's a debate king of anything ever. So, you know, nobody's like, yeah, Hasan, the fucking debate king. Most of the time, Hasan is running away from conversations. So, yeah.
Scared of?
I don't care. You're not addressing the issue. I don't like the fact that we have to play this game with conservatives or just like debate perverts in general, where we have to act like the originalist position is like a legitimate one and not like a totally made up fucking constitutional interpretation that was created in the past 50 years. Just because it's like taught in schools and shit now doesn't mean that it's like actually a legitimate way to interpret the Constitution, unless you let me cut your fucking leg off and kill you by the age of 35. In which case, like, okay, you can be an originalist. Like I said, you can be an originalist and try to interpret the Constitution as the founders intended, okay? With respect to the time and with respect to the words that they used, but like you have to die at the age of 35 from smallpox, okay? So I
talk about.
I'm not understanding his argument. Is he talking about like vaccines or something? Like what? I'm just not following what he's trying to assert here.
Fucking irrelevant. What the fuck was that? Cut my leg off. What does that have to do with abortion at all? And if you're talking about if that was somehow supposed to be a response to what Steven Crowder said, I don't get how it is. Is there anything in the Constitution that even alludes to abortion being a right of an American citizen? Whether or not you want to interpret it loosely or in this manner that you're describing an originalist or however, whatever it was, which sounds like.
I think the argument would be like a healthcare argument, like Crowder. I mean, excuse me. Like, I mean, Hasan might as well be, you know, the opposite Crowder. But I think, oh fuck, what was I saying? I think he's asserting that like healthcare is a constitutional right or something. I really don't know what the point is he's making, honestly. Maybe I'm just uneducated and this is going beyond me. I'm not going to criticize Hasan for it because I just don't understand the point he's making.
No, like akin to being a fundamentalist, you know, Christian. So someone who reads and takes the Bible literally. I'm imagining that's the parallel there. Whether or not you interpret it loosely or you want to interpret it exactly how it was written, is there anything in it that says that abortion is a right? No, there isn't. So let's keep it going.
I hate that this, like, I feel like we're like Disney adults when we have this conversation, like, oh yeah, we have to take it seriously that you like want to fucking try to like have a bunch of legal jargon on.
What's wrong with Disney adults, bro?
And slap a bunch of legal jargon and like fucking constitutional interpretations into whether or not women should be able to get a fucking healthcare. Women should be able to get like a fundamental part of their healthcare.
How is this a fundamental part of healthcare? If it was a fundamental part of healthcare, then most women would have experienced it at least once in their life. And
I mean, I guess, yeah, I don't really see how it was necessarily like healthcare. I don't know. I just don't understand that argument.
The glory of God.
Am I a Disney adult? Fuck yeah, brother.
Still say that here in America, majority of women have never had an abortion. If it's so fundamental, why isn't it something that is taken advantage of or used by the majority of women? It's plain and simple, because it is not fundamental to female healthcare, to woman healthcare.
Revolves around.
Apparently 1 in 4 women in America have an abortion. Jesus, that's fucking higher than I expected it to be. Holy fuck. I just personally wasn't expecting it to be that high. Wow, okay. Incredible. All right.
The reproductive rights, like it's stupid.
And they looked at it, and this is something that even Ruth Bader Ginsburg said, but they said, you know what, this is.
Yeah, I can see reproductive rights being, that's a fair argument. I just don't know. I don't know how the other one is confusing. Yeah, it's a lot. Yeah.
Sort of bad law, so it has to go back.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. The entire fucking game about the Supreme Court is about like trying to fucking reinterpret the Constitution in a way.
You know what, Hasan? You are right. It doesn't fucking matter. It doesn't matter. Fuck what the Constitution says. No, seriously.
He's fucking weird. The sounds are killing me, bro.
I mean that. What matters is what the fuck we're doing. What is happening?
How do I get one like that? How do I get like a soundboard? I just wanted to say "come" whenever I wanted to, you know?
We're literally murdering babies. That's what we're doing. That's
Again,
all.
that's not correct. I mean, they're not defined as babies, you know, but you're okay. And they're also, it's not murder. Murder is an illegal killing of something, and it's illegal, so it's actually not murder. I don't like when, like, you know, especially if you're gonna play. Listen, especially if you're gonna be as condescending as you're acting, you can't be so wrong about a lot of your things that you're saying. Like, it's no problem being pro-life. Like, you do you. I disagree, obviously. I think that we've asserted that a few different times before. I do disagree, but like when you act like condescending and you're wrong about half the shit you're saying, I think it fucking hurts your argument a little bit. You know, I just feel like it hurts a little bit. Okay.
Only thing that fucking matters. There is literally no reason that justifies terminating the life of an innocent person against their will. If you disagree with that, then there's no.
Well, they don't have a will. They don't have any will to speak out against it. So we don't know, but okay. I mean, let me make a reasonable assumption that if you were born, you probably wouldn't want to be aborted. So
to be had. If you believe that it is okay to terminate the life of an innocent person against their will, then you're a murderer, or at least you empathize or sympathize with murderers, with psychopaths, with sociopaths.
Well, you know what? You know what's so funny? I was like, yeah, that's bullshit. But actually, if you think about it, how many women love fucking like murderer documentaries? Like, women simp for fucking murderers. It's true. So maybe he's right. Maybe he's actually right. Like, because how many women are like, oh my god, I love murder X, Y, or Z, and who's the one getting abortions? Women. Holy shit, we've blown the roof off of this case. We figured it out.
Insane people, evil people. That's the side of the fence you're on. Your only way out of that is to somehow convince yourself that an infant in the womb is not a person. Now we can talk about that in a second.
Well, it's not an infant, but wouldn't be classified as one. These are, you know, based on our classification of these things. But yeah, okay.
And if we don't have to touch on it for the rest of this video, I'll wait till the end to talk about it.
That makes sense. That's it. But ultimately, it doesn't matter. None of this fucking matters. Under the Constitution, the woman he's talking to wouldn't be allowed to attend the same school as him. I mean, he wants that for sure. You know they want that
true?
shit.
Another thing he does, other than not ever address the point or argue the points that someone makes against him, and other than just like calling them names, is he pulls up all these other assumptions that are irrelevant to the point, that they aren't justified by the video he's reacting to. He just makes
that part doesn't really matter. So like, I will agree, Hasan. Okay, so like Hasan has said shit about me, like how like I'm fucking dumb or whatever. He's never watched some video of mine, and he misinterprets a lot of people. Problem is that like Crowder, like Crowder is very conservative. He joked about like George Floyd's death. He did the whole thing where he put a knee on the back of his neck. I really wish that Crowder would have at least overdosed on fentanyl if he was going to try to be accurate. Because then maybe the world would be a better place. It's a joke, guys. It's okay. We're a comedy show. It's a joke. Okay, anyway, all jokes aside, like, it's incredibly like fucked up and sensitive. He's a lot of the things that I've seen from him, like there's a lot of like really edgy jokes that he makes, and I guess I can't really say anything about that because I just made one. But I don't think it's unreasonable to think that Crowder is a very regressive conservative. Like the other day, what were we watching? We're watching the whole Disney thing, and he's like upset that like two women are kissing in Disney. It's like, holy fuck. Like, I get the conversation about like drag people and whatnot, and kids transitioning, because I can understand why that's uncomfortable, and that's like a whole conversation. But like, you're just upset that like two gay moms are kissing. Fucking weird.
These assumptions about what this person believes and how they feel about other things.
Are you kidding me? But they'll couch it in ideas like...
Well, I've never heard Steven Crowder. I'm not the biggest Steven Crowder fan, but I've watched enough of his content. I've never heard him say anything that makes it sound like he doesn't want girls to be able to go to the same schools as boys. But
maybe he's
again,
right. I don't know.
More little asides, more little
I wouldn't doubt it, though. I personally wouldn't doubt it. But maybe he's right.
Things he just throws in there to try and prop up his weak argument by attacking the character of the other person and trying to make them seem as unreasonable as possible, because he actually doesn't have an argument to stand on.
School choice and the freedom to choose your school, and not necessarily we should be able to segregate schools again, which are already segregated, for the record.
I also don't agree.
I don't know what he's talking about. The school choice is a bad idea regardless. And the reason is because, like, it's a logistical nightmare, right? So the concept of school choice, everybody gets a voucher, they can go to whatever school they want. Right. The problem is that you're going, if there's like, let's say there's three, let's do a graph. Let's have fun. Let's say there's 3 schools in an area. There's school number 1, right? You have school number 2, and you have school number 3, right? Now, generally speaking, let's say there's a cluster of houses here, cluster of houses like here, and cluster here. Like, I know I'm simplifying it. What's going to usually happen is like they're going to go here. Wow, what a great arrow. They're going to go here, and they're going to go here. And let's assume that all these clusters, there's going to be like 500 children going to each of these schools. You know, my school was very large, so that's actually not quite. Oh, that's not even. That's like, I think my school had like 3,000 people in it. Anyway, okay. School choice says, and okay, then additionally, let's say that like based on this ranking, let's say that this school is the best. This is like the second best and the third best, right? This school actually sucks. This school is dog shit right here. So what ends up happening is these kids say like, okay, well, you know what? We're going to choose to go to this school and then like this school, right? Let's just say these 2 schools are fine. So now you're going to overburden this school system by an additional 50% increase, right? Because you're taking 250 kids from here and you're putting it into here. That's now 750 kids. That's overburdening the system, right? And it's taking away resources from the kids that are already there. On top of that, how do you set up the school bus system going here and here? And then you have this school that's completely abandoned. So it just wouldn't work. You literally cannot just instantly increase the capacity of these schools. It's just impractical. It would be better financially to invest in making this school better than to just say like, fuck it, let's spend more money to move people to other schools and potentially have to expand those schools because you have to get the bus drivers to drive every day. Gas is expensive in a school bus. It's very, I think, what do they get? Like, I don't know what they get. I think 8 miles to the gallon. I don't remember. I used to drive, like clean transit buses, and I would drive school buses sometimes, like, you know, and do stuff like that. And like drive them to different yards and stuff whatnot. But they don't get great gas mileage, so you're driving them. You got to pay a bunch of other people. You have to get there earlier. You know, it's just not going to work itself out. And so school choice is a bad idea. I don't know where the fuck segregation comes into play. If anything, school choice theoretically would reduce segregation, right? Because if you have to choose whatever school you go to, you wouldn't be limited by living in a poor area that would potentially, you know, and usually poor people are disproportionately represented as like people of color because of systemic racism. You understand. But like, it's a logistical nightmare that just won't work. So it's a bad idea. I don't know how you would tie. Segregation into it though. Did I ever clean cis buses? Oh, shut up. Oh yeah, I cleaned trans buses. Yeah, so yeah, I wouldn't touch the dirty cis buses. Only the trans buses. I hated the cis buses. They're so sissy, you know. Whoa, that's not good.
Schools are segregated in America? In what way? That's interesting.
That after your first trimester, you
Okay.
should be looking at options as far as abortion, right? Because at this point, your fetus is a full-grown fetus. You know, there's things that are
That's
happening.
not
Your
true.
baby's developing.
That's not true. Well, what if you second trimester pregnant?
What are you saying?
First trimester, don't agree
Schools are segregated in
I just want to
America?
know what you're saying.
In what way? That's interesting.
that after your first trimester, you should be looking at options as far as abortion, right? Because at this point, your fetus is a full-grown fetus.
It's not fully grown. No, it's growing.
You know, there's things that are
That's
happening.
not
Your
true.
baby's developing.
That's not true. Well, what if you second trimester pregnancies are relatively rare.
They are relative. He's not wrong. 90% of, I think it's 90 and change percent, like 90 point something percent, 91% maybe, 91.2%. I don't think it's necessarily has any relevance to what we're talking about, but he's right about that point. I don't know where he's coming from with even making that point. I think it's like roughly 90 to 92 possibly our first term, 8 or 9 or second, and then like 1-ish our third. Don't quote me on that. I'm pretty sure that's how the split works, though.
Why does that matter? Why does it matter that they're rare? Why does it matter that they're rare? Is it because it's a baby? When did it start being a baby? How do you know when it started being a baby? It's either it was a baby from...
Well, that's a conversation about like the way that we categorize things in society, right? So like different people are going to assign a different value to different things, and like we assign the value to like a fetus as not being a baby because it's not fully formed or fully developed. It's not outside of the womb. We can absolutely have conversations. Like these are all social constructs. Like our society has deemed this to be this thing, right? So our society generally believes that. You know, you're having a conversation about, and you're right, we could change it. I'm just saying that, like, you know, that's how our society tends to interpret that.
the moment it came into existence? Or nobody can tell you when it's a person? Why do you...
Neither, like, no, what you're saying is just wrong. We have the ability to have conversations about these things. Okay.
argue that, oh, third trimester abortions are incredibly rare? Why does it matter? They should be as popular as fucking anything else. If it doesn't matter, if it's not a person, then it shouldn't matter. But deep down, all these people...
Well, again, we can create a point for us to say, like, oh, it's a person now. This is when I assign life to this thing. Like, you can disagree with the assignment, But like your desperation to remove nuance from the conversation doesn't mean that like you've won. You can't just say that it's not a person here. Yes, we can. That's how society works. We have the ability to, to say these things and to create these different constructs. And that's what we've done. Like, you're objectively incorrect because we've literally done that already. That's why, like, there's a lot of places that, like, first trimester is fine. Second is iffy, depending on the state. Third is incredibly iffy, of course, depending on the state. Because those states have different interpretations of, like, when when it's considered, like, a human being. So we've literally done these things. You could disagree with it, but we've done them already.
People know that it does matter. Deep down, all these people know that it is the idea of taking a 7 or 8 month baby, right, in the womb and killing it for your own convenience is nasty as fuck. Everybody knows that. If you've ever...
Yeah, everybody believes that. That's why nobody does that. Nobody takes... You'd be hard-pressed to find, like, somebody who's like, yeah, fuck it, let's just kill it for the lulz at that point. I'm pretty sure... like, even if there was a termination, it would be because there would be, like, a massive complication that threatens the mother or the child's life.
Seen a baby that was born. Let me show you. We talking about third trimester. First of all, if you're trying to argue that the fact that it's rare so it's okay, you're fucking nasty and you're evil and sick.
Well, that's not what anybody's saying. They're saying it's rare because, like, it's something that doesn't really happen and conservatives use it as, like, as a tool. Because a lot of times people be like, look at what the baby looks like, and they'll show you like an 8-month pregnancy. They'll show you like a third trimester abortion because the mother had to get it, and they're like, this is what all abortions look like, when most of the time they don't. I just feel like people aren't making I feel like one of the things that people should understand is that women aren't making these decisions so brazenly. Like, some, I'm sure there are some, but most women are like, bro, like, I don't think people understand. Abortion can be, and oftentimes is, a kind of like even a traumatic event for a lot of people. It's a really serious decision, and it should be. It should be a serious, difficult decision. Because again, it's like a necessary evil, in my opinion. But it's not like people are going around just saying LOL, like, let's just fucking do this. You know what I mean? Like, it takes a lot of consideration, you know?
Because let me look at baby born 1 month early. These are people.
Okay. Sure.
This is a person.
Ugly person, bro. Stop putting your babies on the internet. They're ugly.
That's a baby.
Okay.
But it should be okay to kill these babies, right? It should be okay to kill these babies because they're an inconvenience, right? That's what you're saying? And yeah, sure.
Nobody's saying that.
They don't look as sturdy as a baby that was brought to full term. But you know what? A baby that was brought to full term also doesn't look as sturdy as a baby that's 3 months old. It's called growing the fuck up. Something that you might want to consider doing. All the way up until you're 25. It's just a process of becoming more and more developed. But a 1-year-old is no less of a person than a 25-year-old. And if you kill either, you deserve...
But nobody wants to kill you're not even showing us 1-year-olds. Nobody thinks that 1-year-olds are less than we think that, like, three months in the womb, a 3-month fetus is like a less than a person than like a born person. That's it. Your arguments don't make sense.
Deserve the same punishment, life in prison, because it is murder.
First trimester abortions are where 90% of the abortions happen. Second trimester abortions are...
he wrote the statistics.
It's murder.
First trimester abortion.
Okay, so 91% at first trimester, 8 at second, and like 1% at third. Okay. I really wonder, like... Okay.
Abortions are where 90% of the abortions happen. Second trimester abortions are still incredibly rare, and third trimester pregnancies are in almost all of the circumstances.
What is that, like 1% of a million? Is that 10,000? I guess it's still a lot.
Or abortions, sorry. Third trimester abortions are in almost all of the circumstances completely because of a medical necessity, okay?
It's crazy that they keep going to this medical necessity bullshit, but can never once ever...
But, like, it's literally true because the laws in, like, every state say that you need to have a medical necessity in order for this to happen. So, like, he's not wrong. Like, what are you talking about? You know, like, maybe you could question what is considered a medical necessity. That's fine. That's a good question. I personally, I don't know what they would consider an absolute medical necessity. But like, so if you question that, like, that's fully fine. But like, they are defined as medical necessities. Again, you would have to question the definition of what that means. Yeah. And some of them, like, here's one. One woman I interviewed, for example, explained that she needed an abortion following a diagnosis at 29 weeks of pregnancy. Her fetus's brain wasn't developing because a great deal of fetal brain development happens after 24 weeks of pregnancy, and there's no way to diagnose a problem earlier. So that baby was just going to come out, like, completely brain dead, right? So, like, those are probably considered medical necessities. Like, there might be, like, huge issues. Public support is notably low. So public support is very low for after the third trimester, which is true. Yeah. So like, yeah, I would consider that a medical necessity. Okay.
Never have I ever heard someone list an actual condition. I have never once heard anyone who will argue
Why don't you just look into it? Like,
this list an actual condition as to why a C-section is not a viable option to remove the baby. Also,
just think that you don't understand why these abortions are happening. Like, again, like, I don't know the exact complication, but it seems like a lot of them are like the baby is underdeveloped in a way where it's going to die regardless, and it's better to abort it earlier. Like, things of that nature seem to be the general case. Again, like, it is literally defined. Like, again, you can call into question, but like, it's literally defined as a medical necessity. I don't know what you want me to tell you. You know, you're simplifying something you clearly have no education on whatsoever. You know, you're about as educated on the specifics as I am, to be honest with you. The difference is I'm not touting that I'm right. I'm saying like, okay, medical professionals have deemed it a medical necessity. So I was like, I'll go with that because it makes sense. Because usually I would say that medical professionals know what they're doing more than me. Could be wrong. You can question it, but you just keep asserting that you could just get a C-section, and I don't think you know what you're talking about at all.
but this idea that abortion is this no-risk procedure, women get completely... There are women who have lifelong debilitating physical impairments after abortions, especially late-term abortions. Because...
Maybe. Let's see. Sure.
it is a violent procedure. We'll look up a video.
It can be. A lot of times it's really a lot of times there's like a forced birth, or they'll pull it out. So I imagine that it might have similar negatives to actual having a baby. But okay.
It's like, I feel like this. Everybody who eats meat should know what it looks like to butcher an animal. And every person who is pro-choice should have a vivid and clear visual imagery of what an abortion actually looks like. It is a...
Well, it depends on at what point you're getting the abortion. Like what did I say before? They'll always make it seem like it's like the third trimester abortion is a representative of all abortions. I go, but he's doing it right here. So, like, it's, you know what I'm saying? I already called it. Most abortions, I think, are from an abortion pill too. So, like, most of it's just popping out a pill and bleeding, your pussy bleeds, and it makes your belly hurt. I'm just saying, like, most of them look like that. If you show it, it's like, oh my god, you know what most abortions look like? I wish I had like a tic tac. It's just like, okay. And I think you do it a few times. It depends on like how deep in there you are. So, yeah. Yeah. Okay.
violent and vicious procedure that involves the crushing of skulls and the ripping out of body parts.
Yeah, like maybe the third trimester, sure. Yeah.
Parts and limbs. You get out old arms and legs. This is why I'm so passionate about it, because you're literally...
Because you're not like super informed on what you're talking about. That's why you're so passionate about it. Like most of them, again, are in like the first trimester, and they don't look like that at all.
Killing and dismembering children.
This idea that like we have to have a conversation about the second trimester or the third trimester is such a silly one, and it's one that is like conservative always lock you into. Okay, don't have this conversation.
So it sounds to me like you're saying you do support eliminating abortion as an option after the first trimester.
I do. I agree.
The reason
I agree with that too. I mean, for the most part, again, unless there's some kind of like medical necessity, I don't think that's an unfair thing to say. Sure.
why it's a good conversation to have, because it allows the person who's pro-choice to see how illogical they are in their point of view.
Well, nobody's being made to feel that way by Steven Crowder, but like, yeah, I think it's fine that people talk about the specifics of when to get an abortion. Sure. I mean,
If you're not okay with a second trimester or a third trimester, why is it that you're okay with a first trimester?
you can't not know this answer. Like, I feel like you're just because it's a first because that's where people have decided to limit it to. Hey, we'll do first trimester, first 12 weeks. It's barely it's barely formed anything at all. We're okay with that. Oh, okay. That's pretty much it. Why second trimester? Oh, because they haven't developed like the ability to feel pain until like 27 weeks. Why third trimester? Oh, well, because I might die if I don't birth the baby, or the baby has massive complications that will lead to its death when it's born. Oh, okay. Like we've come up with societal constructs.
Because in a second and third trimester they look like a more developed human, then why isn't it okay?
No, it's not that they look like one. They quite literally are one. Like, it's not that they look more. They are more developed. What do you? Why don't you just use the right words?
To kill an infant, but when they
personally at this point, I think that we should just make it so that you literally cannot masturbate. And if you ever have like a nocturnal emission, then you go to jail, because like you're destroying cum. The cum turns into babies. We should force every woman to birth every baby that they ever have. I mean, that's sort of the point where we're at, to be honest with you.
An adult. If the argument is just that, oh, they're not developed enough, where do we draw the line, and for what reason?
Okay.
I feel like this has been, people draw the line at like first trimester. I've already given you the reason like 4 times in this conversation.
No reason to agree with that. Again, never concede to one of these fucking freaks, okay? Don't do it. Don't concede to them. Be like, no, I actually think abortions are valid, even post-birth. I think you should.
Do I need to run that one back for you again?
Be like, no.
As much as I'm not a fan of Hasan, if you don't acknowledge that that's a fucking joke, then like there's no point to continue. Oh yeah, recycle your cum like Christian. Yeah, put it in a Fanta and pop it. He's literally, I'm gonna continue, but like he's literally joking. He's making like it's a joke. He's like, don't concede at all. Just say it's okay to have it. But he doesn't actually believe that. And I wouldn't assert that he believes that based on what he just said there.
No, I actually think abortions are valid, even post-birth. I think you should.
I believe that abortion should be valid even post-birth.
This is embarrassing if you're taking this as like a fact.
What more do you need? What more do you
I need you to have a sense of humor.
need to know that the people who advocate for this are literally evil? I hope this man never has children. But he probably hopes the same thing.
Be able to.
All of these fucking...
Bro, he just like, where's your credibility shot after that? You can't realize that that's a joke, then your credibility's dead. Like, when nobody can take you seriously. That was a joke. Like, what are you... you just like, what credibility do you have left at this point?
I'm not going to do it. I was going to attack his character, but I'm not going to do it. And calling him evil is not like a ad hominem attack. It's
that is attacking his character, calling him evil. I just wish that you understood what jokes were.
Literally, what else would you call the murder of children post-birth?
Funny?
If that's not an evil motherfucker, I don't know.
Oh, I know. That's why he was joking. I just... insane.
But it is. Is there anything more evil than killing a baby after they were born? Jeez. But you know what's crazy? These are the same kind of people that...
Oh my God. Well, according to you, this is what's a little bit weird, is that he's talking about how like it's always a baby all the time and it's evil, but he's basically saying here that it's more evil to kill a baby once it's born, which means that you basically slipped up and you've told us, you've proved to us that you actually understand that a born baby is more valuable than a fetus. If it's more evil for somebody to, if you feel it's more evil, which is what you're asserting here, that he thinks that we should have post-birth abortions, which he's very clearly kidding. But if you think that he's being serious, and you're saying that, then you're making the argument that it's worse, which is what you're doing. You're making the subtextual argument. You understand and acknowledge that a baby in the womb, or excuse me, a fetus in the womb, you understand that that doesn't have the same value as a born child. That's just now, it doesn't mean that you have to be pro-choice. I'm just saying that you acknowledge that there's more value to a born person than a non-born person, especially in first trimester. So you kind of slipped on that one.
If you get caught kicking a dog on camera, they ready to end your whole fucking career. If you come out and say, oh, you slap your dog when they misbehave, they're ready to call you a fucking evil person that should be deplatformed and
what's happening here? What are we talking about dogs for?
And prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. But
how many babies do I consume a day? Like 6. That's how I stay so young looking.
Killing a baby after they've been born, though. Come on now. That's just a woman's right? That's healthcare.
Okay.
Right?
Sure.
Week 12, that makes it no longer acceptable.
Eyeballs, fingers, toes, hair. I mean, you're going from this small cell. I mean,
But that happens before the second trimester.
Well, but the
See,
thing is,
that's why you don't concede to that bullshit, dude. That's why you don't concede to that fucking.
Yeah, it happens before the second trimester. Before the end of the second trimester, not before it. But okay, so then, like you're like, yeah, that's why I believe in first trimester. Okay.
Framing. I don't give a fuck if something has toes. Okay, I don't care that you.
Okay.
Again, his entire argument. I don't
Honestly, at this point, Young Don, most of his arguments are very like just pearl clutching. I mean,
care. I don't give a fuck. I don't. The real question you should be asking is that a human being, a separate entity from the mother? Which it is. It has its own unique DNA. From the moment.
Sure, but it can't live outside. Like, so we can make this argument again. Like, yeah, most people say no, it can't live outside the mother. I think maybe viability starts at 24 weeks now, possibly. Because of medical, modern medical miracles, the 3 M's, right? So it's possible. I need to get this close enough so I can get this. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, but again, it's not really its own separate entity. Like the mother needs to, if it left there, it would die. So you could be, yeah, you know what, abortions are okay before it becomes viable. I guess you could say that.
moment of conception, it has its own unique human DNA. It's not a parasite. The definition of a parasite is an organism that takes up residence in another organism of a different species and then leeches off.
Is that true? Oh. Because, like, I mean, I wouldn't call it a parasite. Yeah, outside of another species. It's interesting that you can define the word parasite, but you can't define the word murder or infant or baby or fetus. It's very convenient that you know the definitions of words when it suits you. It's very interesting. Okay. Okay. Wait, am I gonna lose here? Because I'll cry if I do. Sorry, I'm getting back to the video in a second. Just need to figure it out.
Resources from the host organism. To call an infant a baby human inside of a pregnant woman and
I just want to... Okay, so again, an infant, a very young child or baby. A fetus isn't an infant. Okay, you've looked up the term parasite. Why is it that you can define that term you can get really hyper specific on that term, but you can't get hyper specific on, you know, the term what a baby is? It's not a baby. Okay, nobody considers it a baby. It's a fetus. It's in a different developmental period.
Parasite is not only just purely incorrect from a biological point of view, but it's also fucking stupid. Are you God damn it. That's just so fucking dumb to call a baby a parasite. An example of a parasite would be a tapeworm that lives inside of the gut of a pig. That's an example, or a fish. That's an example of a parasite. An organism that infiltrates, right? Not one that was formed naturally from within, but one that infiltrates from the environment into another organism of a different species that leeches off until that, if allowed to go unchecked, until that organism that is hosting the creature is ill or dead. None of those boxes are ticked off by a human baby that is in the process of being developed in the womb, a space that was literally created for that. Its only sole purpose is the facilitation of the growth of an infant, the womb of a woman. Exactly why men cannot be women, by the way. I know you fucking believe that fucking horseshit too. The womb is literally just like how your eyes are made for seeing and your
that'll be a conversation for another day. I fucked up, dude. I feel like such a dumb asshole. Because like you're supposed to beat this without having to go back to the main menu, or else you can't get the black border. And look what's happening. I'm not going to be able to do it.
heart is made for pumping blood. Your lungs are made for the transportation of oxygen into your blood. The womb is made for the growth of a child. It literally strips down all the fucking wallpaper every time a baby doesn't occur every month. That is what menstruation is. That's what a period is.
That's why we should force everybody we should force everybody. We should just force people to force birth, honestly, at this point. Like, force pregnancy, you know?
It's like the body saying, fuck, nobody showed up again. Tear it down, tear it all fucking down. We gotta get ready for next month. Hopefully this bitch get pregnant.
I mean, that brings a conversation. Like, let's just say, like, under 12 weeks. Like, what is the difference between coming on a woman's stomach and, like, coming in a girl and getting her pregnant? Like, honestly, from an outcomes perspective, I mean, there's really not much of a difference there. That might be offensive to some people. But it's like, there's really not, a substantial difference there. You know, so it's like, like, unless a soul goes into it, like, I don't see why. Like, you'd have to be religious and believe that. But unless there's like a soul that's implanted in there, like, what's the argument? You know, like, what's the difference truly? Dude, how is this not locking them down? What the fuck? Okay.
You describe any part of any organism's body that does the same thing for a tapeworm or any other form of parasite. You don't have a tapeworm room inside your gut, but if you drink some dirty water in a third world country, you might end up with tapeworms in your gut.
What about dirty water in a first world country? Okay, all right, here, let's do this. That
you have to take medicine to remove. If you allow the woman's body to go through the natural process, the baby will be born healthy, the mother will be healthy, and the species can actually continue. You know, the point of all biological life, reproduction. So It has its own unique DNA.
Well, we're quite overcrowded. So I'm just saying, it'd be good if maybe we. So you said buy a sniper. I mean, maybe it would be good if we let gay people adopt. Then we wouldn't. We'd have better access to. There would be better access to you know, kids. Oh wait. Oh, I got it. Nice. Then there would be better access to good homes for children. You know.
Own unique human DNA, and we've just explained why a human baby cannot be a parasite in a human mother. Moron. Sorry, I shouldn't have. I'm apologizing to you, the chat, because I promised you a certain level of argumentation that wouldn't require me to call it names. But it's just like, you can only hear so much stupid shit before you start calling a duck, you know, if it...
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I've been pretty patient with him, so I feel like you probably could have been more patient with Hasan.
quacks like one and walks like one.
With the medical fascination of ultrasound technology, we're able to fucking use technological achievements to like drive home a fucking narrative that like the little thing inside of you is something more than a fucking parasite. It's actually a real human because it got fucking toes on it. And that's why I love that Charlie Kirk video. Play that clip. Play the Charlie Kirk gets own clip, chat. Let's do it, okay? Here it is, dude. Here it fucking is.
Was it going to be like the dolphin one where he's like, oh, is this a fetus? And he's like, yeah. He's like, oh, it's actually a dolphin. Because it's indistinguishable, I guess. I don't know. It's a funny bit. I don't know if it's like necessarily an own. It's just kind of funny.
Is, dude. Hey, let's take a look at that. What's that? What's that? Play that fucking DJ. Play that clip.
Bring it.
Truly in your heart of without a doubt, yes, this is a dolphin fetus. So without a doubt, a dolphin fetus is a human being.
There you go. That fetus, that
was disingenuous. It does not deny in any way, just because that one person was not able to identify the fact that he was not being shown an actual human fetus does not discredit a single thing I have said thus far. If your argument is that at a certain point in the human's development, they don't look like an adult human or a 1-year-old baby, so it's not a human, it's fucking stupid. That's like me taking a little baby. Look at this. You know what that's like? So here's a chart that shows the different stages of growth that a seedling goes through, right? Let's say this is an acorn tree. At what point does it become an acorn plant?
I don't know. I don't think anybody would consider a seed a plant. No, am I wrong about that? Like who's like, yeah, you know what? That acorn seed is a plant. Why would you consider the seeds a plant? I feel like you're hurting your own argument here. Even pro-lifers would go, what the fuck are you talking about, bro? Who considers a fucking seed a plant? Bro, this guy's like lost in the sauce. What are you talking about? Who's like, yeah, you know that fucking, hey, do you want some, do you guys want to have some peanut plants? You want to eat a peanut plant? And why would I want to do that? No. It's just all the seeds of the peanut. Oh, okay. You guys want some sunflower plants? You guys want to eat some sunflower plants? What do you mean? No, that sounds horrible. No. Just the seeds. Well, maybe you should have led with seed. Why'd you say plant? Oh, well, because I don't understand social categorizations of things. Oh, okay. You're okay. Great. Yeah. Like, this hurts your argument. Like, you're not making a good argument. Nobody considered seeds a plant at all. Not until they start, like, sprouting. Okay? That's plants don't start sprouting until 3rd trimester. Okay? So you can... I'm just like, it's weird. So your argument's not helpful. You're hurting yourself.
At which stage did it become an acorn plant? And just because someone is not able to look at this and differentiate between the fact that it's an acorn tree or a fig tree or an oak tree or an apple tree, just because you show someone a picture of this and at a glance they're not able to say, oh, that's an acorn tree, doesn't mean it's not a fucking acorn tree, because it will grow into an acorn tree. You see how that doesn't make sense? Just because a fetus at 1 month does not look like a 1-year-old baby does not mean it is still not a human baby.
Fucking pose and shit. What's up? It also
so after germination, I don't know. So the seed must develop into a young seedling capable of photosynthesis in less than 48 hours. So I guess 2 days after? I guess it takes a couple of days to become I don't know how scientists categorize these things, but okay.
Had a goddamn tail. One of the most disgusting fucking things I ever hear from conservatives regularly. Literally the fucking entire point of the Civil War. Okay. Oh, it was states' rights. It was about states' rights. It was about states' rights. States' rights to own what? States' rights to own slaves. Okay. It's not about fucking states' rights. But now they're trying to do that for abortion to act like this is actually about doing it in a more democratic capacity. Except there's not a single fucking state in the country where overturning Roe v. Wade has more than 30% support. There is not a single state in this country where, again, I'm going to repeat myself, including Texas, including Florida, no state has a 51%.
Is that true? Wow. Well, I mean, logically speaking, then there shouldn't be a problem, right? Like, if nobody wants to overturn Roe v. Wade, that means I feel like if that might be, is that a skewed statistic? Wait, I can connect my Twitch. What? Wait, hold on. Wait, okay, hold on. We're gonna keep this playing.
Support for banning abortions, okay? That does not exist. Relitigating something that 70% of the country has fucking agreed upon for literally...
We do not live in a democracy. This country has never been a democracy. So if your argument is, oh, this is what most people want.
Well, it's like a democratic republic where people. Okay, we live in like a democratic republic, so people still get like choices. What is this loadout poll? Oh, cool. All right, I can create a loadout poll. What does this mean? What does that mean? Did you guys get like a prompt? I don't even know what that is. Okay.
Yeah, and I'm sure most people would love an extra 10 bands in their account every year just because. I'm sure most people.
Yeah, I'm a pretty big supporter of universal basic income. So 12 bands. Wait, what's a band? Isn't a band $1,000? Yeah, 12 bands. I'm a pretty big UBI guy.
Don't want income tax, but we live in a republic, and so
most people do actually want income tax. Most people just want to bitch about it. I know that this is like hot take, but like most people wouldn't vote to get rid of taxes because then they know that our society would collapse. There's the idea of like not understanding what wants mean. I guess this guy doesn't really know what a want is. Like people don't want to pay it, but they know that they need to have a functioning society. So they want to do it. It's like, oh, I don't want to do this, but I know it's right kind of a thing. So like we live in a democratic republic. Like, yeah, I know it's not exact like, oh, majority rules necessarily. There's a lot more conditions in that. But okay, like what's your art? I don't really get your point. Generally it's the government's responsibility to represent the people. Okay.
We have elected officials that we entrust to make better decisions for us. Those elected officials have the ability to put in place Supreme Court justices because we acknowledge that the majority of people are fucking uneducated and don't.
You know, not for nothing, but I really feel like, I mean, yes, the majority of people are uneducated, and you're doing a phenomenal job of proving that. But my thing is like, I think Andrea had a great idea on how we should do Supreme Court justices. It shouldn't be a life term. Every president should be able to choose one justice. Like every termed president should get one justice, and that's it. Like, so like you would have, I don't know, what are there fucking, there's like 7 people on there. So what would that give them? Like 28-year terms? Hopefully I'm getting that right. That makes the most sense to me. Right? Am I right about that? How many, there's 7 justices, yeah? Yes, I'm right about that.
Have the time.
How many Supreme? I think that there's 7. 9. I'm actually mentally inept. What was that, 36 years? Wow, why did I think 7? Okay. Well, obviously, I'm a fucking idiot, but you get my point. I think that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, 9. Thanks, guys. Edit that out, sir.
To read up and study and investigate every little nuance that goes in to every decision that is made on a government level. It is the reason we have a republic. And until very recently, America has been the strongest country, the strongest nation in the world. So it's apparently worked out.
What do you mean we are objectively the strongest country in the world? What the fuck is this? I can only use a fucking boomerang monkey? What'd you guys vote on? I can only use boomerang monkeys now? What the fuck is this? What did you do? You pieces of shit. Anyway, we are still objectively the largest country. I would love to know. I can't. Okay, I guess I'll place him. Do I get to use... Get the fuck out of here. Give me my thing back. What the fuck? You pieces of shit. God damn it. You motherfuckers. I'll blog it later. What am I supposed to do now? Motherfucker. All right. Anyway, America's still the largest, the strongest country in the world. I want to build more farms.
Very well for us. So even if that is the case, that most of the country doesn't want to overturn Roe, it's because most of the country believes that in overturning Roe v. Wade means that abortion is now illegal nationwide. As this woman that you previously had on the screen clearly,
I don't think that
demonstrated, she did not understand what Roe v. Wade is even about.
No, so you're like, dude, I don't know how, like, I don't have a problem with this guy because he's pro-life. I have a problem because he's just not, he's really dumb. Like, dude, she literally said it would make it illegal in Texas specifically. When we understand this because she understands that it leaves it to the state and that Texas would make abortions illegal. You admitted it yourself. So, like, you're saying is you're the person that you're the reason we have a democratic republic. Like, what the fuck are you on about? You're misrepresenting her so, and I don't even, you know what the worst part is? I don't even think he's doing it intentionally. It would be, I don't even think he's doing it on purpose. I think he thinks what he's saying is correct. That's the problem. I mean, at least if you were like lying, I'd be like, all right, he's just a grifter. But no, you're just not like, bro. She literally said, like, she didn't explicitly say, oh, yeah, I understand that Roe v. Wade is like a federal protection and that it would be up to states' choice. What she said was like, yeah, Texas would make it illegal. And that's true. You have admitted that yourself. And even if it's not true, you agree with her. So I'm really confused as to how you're like constantly trying to shit on her, you know?
And what overturning it even means. So of course, most of the country isn't on board, possibly.
Okay.
Most of the country doesn't even understand it.
The past 50 fucking years is insane. Using the Supreme Court, where 5 of the Supreme Court justices were in lifetime positions, by the way. 5 of the Supreme Court justices.
The reason that the Supreme Court justices have lifetime positions is so that they are not compromised into making decisions. That's the reason we don't elect the people in the
We don't need to. Hasan's not wrong. Like, yeah, they shouldn't be lifetime choices. Doesn't mean you have to elect. Like, what did I just say before? If we allowed, if we like had every president like get a pick of a justice, they're not lifetime. They don't have to get elected, but like it does more like turns through better, and it's more representative of the people. Generally speaking, it's supposed to be a policy in the Supreme Court to be as unbiased as possible. But of course, like nobody can be unbiased. So if you have like a reasonably like regular split of like, for the most part, it kind of organizes itself out to like one Democrat to one Republic. You know, usually if there's like, you know, for the most part, that's how it works. I don't think that there's ever been in history, except for one time, where there'll be 2 Republican winners and then like or a third Republican winner. Like usually when there's like 2, it's usually like the same person will get elected twice, like a Republican, for instance, or a Democrat, and then they'll vote somebody else because, you know, every president manages to fuck something up in some capacity. So like it would basically guarantee, for the most part, that there would be a reasonably equal representation of the way the people feel. So they shouldn't stay till they die. You know, like Trump shouldn't have gotten multiple picks, especially since they denied Obama of his pick that he should have gotten. Which is insane. So like, yeah, he's not wrong at all. Okay.
Highest level of the judicial system, because if we did, it's the reason politicians are thought to be corrupt, because they're so easily compromised and leveraged through money, because they have to run for re-election. That's the reason why judges, since you obviously don't understand, this is something you learn in fucking history class in the junior year of high school, public school, nonetheless. The reason that they are given lifelong tenureship is so that they cannot be compromised into making decisions to appease a base, to appease, to pander to people who are going to re-elect them.
Justices were elected.
It feels like he just learned these things and he's trying to like show us that he's a smart guy. Because what am I supposed to say? Like, he didn't say we should fucking elect people. You know, he just said that like they shouldn't have lifetime terms. Which I agree with. But again, let every president get a pick. Very, very easy process to utilize. Yeah, he's just very loud and yelling, yeah, for sure.
Appointed, not elected. Obviously not. That would be democratic. And we don't do democracy.
And be fucking stupid if the people who can decide
Not elected.
to pander
That would be democratic.
who are going to re-elect them.
Justices were appointed, not elected. Obviously not. That would be democratic. And we don't do democracy.
And be fucking stupid if the people who can decide
well, he's acknowledging that it's not okay, whatever.
The people who are responsible for upholding the legitimacy of the Constitution, for providing a check and balance to Congress and to the executive branch, people who have to make decisions that will set precedents for hundreds of decisions to come in the future. It is unwise to put them in a position where money and running for re-election every 4 to 8 years or whatever you would have them rerun for re-election. It's unwise to put them in a position where they could be so easily compromised.
Democracy in this fucking country, but appointed by 2 Republican presidents that didn't even win the fucking majority vote. They didn't win the popular vote. They lost the popular.
No, it would take the oldest judge off and then put a new person in. So you would maintain your 9, and then every president would be able to elect their own justice. If somebody passes away, you know, then they can elect 2 or something, like whatever. But that should generally be an outlier. If we're having them age out, for the most part, it shouldn't happen. It might, but that's pretty much it. Yeah. That would be how it would work.
Popular vote, and they got to elect 5 Supreme Court justices. Okay, that's democracy to you? They get to overturn.
It's a republic. I already said that. No one has ever said that America is a democracy. Why do you keep saying that as if America has ever tried to?
Bro, he's making a good point. Hasan's making a good point, and you're just like ignoring it. Nobody should be able to. They'll be able to elect that many people. Like he's not wrong. So I just
itself is a democracy. It's not. It's a republic. It has always been a republic since it was established. So why do you keep
it's
saying
like a democratic republic, right? So okay,
it's not that's like saying, oh, it's not. That's not what communism is. Of course it's not. We're not a communist country. We're not a democracy.
Something for the 30% of the country that want to fucking, enforce their psychotic religious fucking perspective upon the entirety of the nation?
Psychotic, right. Killing a baby.
of course he's gonna.
Maybe after it's born, not psychotic. Got it. Well,
He was joking, but I mean, my understanding is that this guy's main account is supposed to be him making humorous videos, right? Am I wrong about that? So how the fuck is he so? Does he not understand what a joke is? I don't really get that. How does he not understand what jokes are? Oh yeah, so you unironically support babies getting killed outside the womb? Yeah, of course.
wanting to preserve life in the womb, fucking psychos. Got it. Understood.
That's insane, dude. That's not democratic at all. But it doesn't fucking matter, okay? Steven Crowder knows that. It's not about democracy. It's just he's just repackaging it as democracy because he's a fucking monster, an evil person who needs to be. He should, if there was any justice in the world, again, shove him back in his mother's pussy and fucking abort it, okay, as a fetus, or just send his fucking bitch ass back to Canada. Go fucking deal with the Canadian politics.
It's crazy how these liberals are always so violent, man. They're always so violent. We're the crazy gun-loving, psycho.
Bro, what's first of all, you're screaming. So, I mean, you're not being violent, but you're obnoxiously loud, just like he's obnoxiously loud. Second of all, it's Hasan. Even most progressives think that Hasan's a joke. So, this whole thing that you're like, oh, see, look, this is your typical liberal. It's like, no, not really. Nobody really respects Hasan. Just saying. I'm just letting you know that.
But they're the ones who always call for, why am I supposed to be concerned about getting banned and this nigga ain't banned off Twitch? Literally every other video he calls for the violence or death against somebody conservative. But we're the psychos?
I don't think that's true. I've never seen him call okay, whatever. I don't.
Right.
Just a reminder, because the non-proportional representation.
It's just weird because earlier he was talking about how Hasan's just talking about Steven Crowder and he doesn't know Steven Crowder. He's assuming that he has like a position. Okay, he made an argument that Hasan was just assuming Crowder had a position, or assumed this his character based off of a disagreeable point. Okay, well, you're doing the same thing. Hasan fucking constantly loses his shit, but I wouldn't say that he calls for violence every other video.
In order to break the filibuster and overcome the R+6-7 bias in the Senate, Democrats would need to win 3 straight elections by 19 points to make abortion legal nationally. This Republican Party that has successfully done this is still running around and going to turn back into a reasonable, moderate Republican Party, according to Nancy Pelosi. Come on, please. Throw our hands up in the air and go, please, Republicans, just don't win too hard. It's very frustrating that dumbasses, even at this stage, when you are literally demonstrably seeing that just simply vote lol for the Democrats doesn't work, still come into this chat and turn around and say, well, we should need more moderate Democrats, actually. No, we don't. Moderate Democrats are the reason why we're here to begin with. We need to start fucking bullying our own representatives, okay? That's it. We need to bully them to do the right thing, because they're not gonna—
Oh, you mean—
Well, okay, so first of all, I know Hasan well enough to know when he says bully your representatives, he's saying actually send in messages to them and tell them to do their job that we want you to do. So I already know that. And if you don't know that, then I understand that. I know Hasan well enough to know that he doesn't actually mean bomb their fucking house or anything. And he's not wrong. That's how you need to advocate. I was just thinking today, people are like, oh my god, we don't get paid well enough. Blah, blah, blah. Nobody's in the fucking streets rioting anymore. I realized I'm watching Peaky Blinders. Everybody's out there fuck you, we want our fucking money back. Nobody gives a shit anymore. Everybody's like, I'm so upset and I'm so oppressed, and go outside and fucking yell. Go riot. Go fucking stand. You know what I mean? But nobody does that shit anymore. People young kids are so complicit. And I'm doing well, so I'm not gonna go fucking I'm not gonna go fucking personally complain. Where's the fucking labor parties? I don't know. Anyway, that being said, yeah, I think moderate Democrats they're not the reason why things are going to shit. I don't know what you're talking about. I would argue that people that are farther left Democrats are the reason, because a lot of people don't align with them. A lot of people of color vote Democrat, but they don't vote Democrat because they're fucking Hispanic people or black people are super lefty. They're like, oh my god, I love leftist politics. Most of them fucking despise anything communist, anything close to socialism or communism. So your perspectives are actively pushing people out of the party. So you're not right about that.
Like when y'all ran up on that congresswoman in the fucking bathroom? Is that what you're talking about? This is the illogical, childish behavior that I have come to expect from people who talk on the left, from people who are as far left as Hasan and people like him. They call for violence. They don't actually argue against points. They just name call and say, I don't give a fuck. I don't care. How is this nigga? How is he? I don't get it. I really don't get it. Like, you cannot be impressed or agree with a person like Ben Shapiro or Matt Walsh or, you know, fucking Thomas Sowell or other very well-spoken conservatives.
I like Thomas Sowell. I don't know how you got his name wrong. Anyway, he's very intelligent for sure. I listen to him every once in a while. He has some really interesting ideas. Like, some really interesting ideas. I don't agree with everything. You know, Matt Walsh, not a big fan. I actually, like, listen, I'm not a huge Shapiro fan, but, like, I used to be like, oh, Shapiro's, like, a reasonable, decent guy, like, whatever. Dude, the thing that really bothered me was his take on, like, the two Disney girls kissing. Like, it bothered me, because most of the time I would generally look at him as, like, oh, you know, he's a conservative person, but he's fair. But, like, literally, he thinks it's inappropriate for kids to see two, like, fully clothed lesbian cartoon characters in a fucking show kiss because they're married and love each other. And it's like that. There's no argument other than you're homophobic. Like, there's nothing inappropriate. If it was a guy and a girl doing it, you'd have no problem with it. So it's like, it's literally just homophobia. So like, I've unfortunately lost a considerable, like, it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, I thought he was reasonable, but he just, to me, just tries to come off as reasonable. And he tries to use correct terminology so that people don't think that he's a bigot. But I'm just saying.
Conservative talking heads, but at least when they talk, they sound intelligent. They're not just saying, oh, we need to bully these people and kill those people and fuck that guy and I don't care and wah. And you want...
Well, there's like plenty of intelligent leftists, like Jon Stewart, even though it was a little sussy with his one video about white people, was, you know, suspicious. He's still a very intelligent person. There's a good amount of intelligent leftists, like, or people on the more progressive individuals. Like somebody like Destiny is another intelligent person. So, but it is interesting. There's not a whole lot. Like, I guess I don't really know too much. I guess, like, I don't know too much about like Sam Cedar. I mean, you'll say he's intelligent. Maybe he's a good one. I don't really know.
Wonder why y'all
Destiny hates trans people. I don't think Destiny hates trans people.
get called snowflakes and fucking crybabies.
Gonna do it. That's why I always joke about the gauntlet. Like the threat.
Well, not for nothing, but like you can't really call Hasan a snowflake when you didn't understand his joke. Snowflakes usually will intentionally misinterpret jokes so fit like a narrative. Like, oh my god, you said we should have abortions after birth? That's a real thought you had. It's like, is it though? Is that a real thought? Do you think that it's a real thought he's expressing? Like, really?
Proletarian violence would probably get them to act in a certain way. So I talk about the legislation of the gauntlet, okay?
Proletarian
where
violence.
you pick one fucking person from your state, all right? You pick one challenger, one champion, one working class champion to beat the fucking shit out of your representative on
This guy talk like he got hands. This guy talk like he can fight.
the fucking halls of the Senate, on the floor of the Senate. You beat him up, okay? If they reach below.
This nigga look like he's never been
This is like just a dumb, weird like tangent. I imagine he's not serious about, but
punched in his face once in his life.
A certain point. If they reach below a certain point.
It's always the people who don't appreciate the severity of violence that love to call for violence. It's always niggas who've never had a gun in their face or people who've never actually been in a serious altercation that love to talk about violence like it's so frivolous.
Popularity
Probably,
rating.
sure.
If their approval rating dips beneath 30%, that means that they're not representing the interests of their state. They're not representing their actual constituents. So what do? Bring a challenger, a champion, okay? A man of the people that comes in and beats the living fucking shit out of a congressperson. And then we put it on C-SPAN for pay-per-view. There you go. You're literally fucking funding the government further. Let's get back to the Steven Crowder video.
there you go. Sure, I guess that would work. I'm assuming that was like just a weird molding joke that he's making. Okay.
Why is Plan B a thing, right? There's a reason why day after something, you can go into CVS right now and a young lady can say, I know I did whatever I did last night.
You see, and this is also common on the left. Further evidence that they know they are ashamed. Deep down, they're in their souls. They're ashamed of this position.
Why?
And they realize that they are only put in these positions as a result of acting in a way that is unwise. Oh, whenever, you know, she did whatever she did. Why can't you say she had unprotected voluntary sex with a person that she does not want to reproduce with? And so she goes into CVS the following day to get a pill that will prevent her from getting pregnant. Because it sounds...
Well, here's my thing. If you're listen, okay, so if you're gonna be like, hey, listen, we should make abortion illegal, then you should have to force all fathers to be in the lives of kids that they don't want to be with. Like, why does the woman have to take responsibility if she gets pregnant, but the man doesn't? You know, so like not just child support, like forced marriage, forced to stay there. Like they're forced to take care of the kid. It seems like you're putting a lot of this, like putting a lot of it on women. I think that's a big issue that people have.
Nasty because you sound like a fucking whore.
Oh, it says that doesn't make anybody look like a whore. Okay, why does Hasan get up and walk away? Oh,
that's just the truth of it.
And I'm going to make sure that I protect myself.
So did what I did. I'm assuming sex.
Sure.
Yeah.
And
Sure, what else could it be? I'm assuming sex. He's like, are you talking about sex?
Well, it could be rape, but okay.
Are you a 30-something-year-old woman? Why are you acting like you're so scared to talk about sex?
So to me, you saying, okay, here at this point.
And why is that? Why is it? Because
Yeah, that's true. Sometimes the protection fails, and it's like a safeguard. Sure. I mean, I would say that's generally like an outlier, but yeah, sure, that could be true as well, for sure.
it's the first step to taking accountability and responsibility for the position you are in, that position being having an unwanted pregnancy. Saying, oh, I chose to have voluntary unprotected sex is the first step to taking accountability for the end result, which is a pregnancy. So even from the jump street, you gotta dodge it altogether. So you can't even say that I had sex and that's what this plan B pill is for. You gotta dance around it. Because
so is he saying that like I think that she just didn't want to be provocative on his thing. She might have just not wanted to I don't really know. Either way, so like is the assertion here that like we shouldn't even allow that? Like, are we saying that we shouldn't allow people to like have plan B? And that's interesting.
You got to
really
dance
taking
around
that running with
accountability.
Time. There's people who I'm not a doctor, right? Obviously, I wouldn't be right. This
Spoiler, neither am I.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can tell.
So, somebody somewhere sat down and said, this makes sense. Who gets paid a lot more money than me and understands the anatomy of the human body. But yeah, no, I don't.
But that's kind of the issue, though, right? Is no one has sit down and said it made sense. For example, in a place like Colorado, you can have...
It's not true. That's not true. Of course they have thought about this.
Well, yeah, of course they
like
thought
Steven
about it,
Crowder is
yeah.
creating a universe in which like doctors and medical professionals have not, on top of the philosopher Andes, okay, have not talked endlessly about the medical ethics of allowing women to be able to get a fucking abortion. That's wild to me.
Hasan's
Where,
right.
but what are they? What are these?
Well, Hasan is right. Like, yeah, they've talked about it a lot. You could probably just look into it. Like, you could look into the ethics. We are allowed to have conversations about the ethics, but like, yeah, we have talked about that as a society. It's just been a while,
Ethics that you speak of. You've literally just put the audience in a he said, she said situation. Steven Crowder said,
no, I mean, that doesn't make any sense if you think that like they would allow abortions without having like a deep, long like conversation about the ethics of the ethical nature of it. Like, you're just wrong. Like, I don't understand. Like, just look it up or something. Like, yeah, this has been something that's been talked about for a long time. Of course, it just hasn't been talked about in a while, and we have every right to talk about it again. I'm not saying that we shouldn't. I'm just saying that, like, yeah, people have talked about it before. It's not like they just made a random decision one day. It wasn't like yeah, fuck it. It wasn't that easy, They had to implement Roe v. Wade. Obviously, there was a fight. So
said these conversations haven't occurred. You're saying they are. So watch to me, and it's irrelevant for everything else, every other reason I've listed already in this video.
Have an abortion all the way up until 8-9 months.
Yeah, no, I don't agree with that.
Okay. And that'll still be the law in Colorado.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. The reason why it's the law in fucking Colorado is because it is a medical necessity, okay? That's
How is it ever a medical necessity? I mean, we've already talked about it.
yeah, so look, I looked it up. What are the medical ethics of having an abortion? Here's the first article: ethical principles for abortion care. Just look it up. Like, you gotta just Google it.
So I don't need to keep repeating myself. But as I've already described, it is unnecessary to kill the baby in the process of birthing the baby in order to save the life of a mother. If a woman has a high-risk pregnancy, there is no killing the baby. Killing the infant is an extra step. In fact, even in intentional abortions where the mother's life is not at risk, there are situations where the abortion is done poorly and the baby comes out and is still alive, still viable, still able to go forth and live a full life if it were to be immediately put into certain conditions, like in NICU.
Maybe. I guess it's possible. I don't. I just feel like you're just saying things. I don't know. You're saying that there's never a medical necessity in abortion. Like, you're just objectively incorrect. Like, there are. You can question the specifics if you want, but just asserting that like there's never like a reason is just wrong. You're just not correct. Like, they have defined standards. You can question the ethics of it, but they have defined standards for it.
But instead, they leave it on a cold piece of metal table to die and bleed out as murder.
it.
That's just not what. Where are you getting this information from? Why? Where's that information from? They just leave it on a table to bleed out and die. What the fuck are you talking about? Where are you getting this information from? I'm very concerned. What the fuck?
You're allowed to do that in Virginia.
Well, what's the difference between that and some girl throwing herself down the stairs? People are going to do what they want to do.
Well, no, this is about babies who were born who survived abortions and they were just leaving it in a room to die.
Sure, but you're saying in
Is that a real
Colorado
thing?
at 8 months,
Let's
it's
see.
still.
I call bull.
I'm gonna look that up. Do they leave aborted babies in a room to die if they survive the abortion? Is that a real thing? Let's see. Oh, I have to subscribe for that one. No thanks. Born alive, abortion survivor. At times, abortion. Okay. Okay. At times, an abortion procedure can. Get the fuck out as an ad. Abortion procedure can result with a child being born alive. In these situations, it is currently legal for the medical practitioners performing an abortion to deny medical care to the infant and leave the baby to die, sometimes over the course of hours or days. Wow, that's actually fucked up. Okay, so I guess we're wrong about that. Yeah, that's really fucked up. So I guess you'd have to have a conversation about what to do there. I mean, in that case, I would say that you should be forced to take care of the baby medically, and I guess put up for adoption if this is the case and this does happen. Sure. The Born Alive Abortion Survivors Protection Act is a non-controversial legislation. It would require that appropriate medical care be given to any child who survived the attempted abortion. Yeah, that's fair. Okay. I mean, I agree with that. That should definitely be a thing. I wonder if they've implemented that because that article's a little dated. Yeah, sure. Fair enough. Okay.
Bullshit. I call fucking bullshit. First of all, before abortion,
I wonder how often those things happen though. Like I wonder what the representation of that is, because I feel like that. Let's see. How often are aborted babies born alive? Like, what's the statistic here? Okay. All right, so there's actually not enough of it being reported for there to be like an actual reasonable statistic. Yeah, because of gaps in the national and state reporting. Yeah, there's too many gaps for there to be a statistic. I imagine it's low, but okay.
was illegal, the majority of abortions were committed inside of physician rooms by licensed doctors who did these procedures under the table for cash. This myth propagated by most people are fucking
What?
inside. I call fucking bullshit. First of all, before abortion was illegal, the majority of abortions were committed inside of physician rooms by licensed doctors who did these procedures under the table for cash. This myth.
Oh, okay. So he's saying that what he's saying right now is that like this girl's like, oh, people would get an abortion, they'll figure out a way anyway, and they'll do it in an unsafe way, which is demonstrated, sure. And he's saying, yeah, but historically we've done them in the medical professionals have done them in some capacity, and in under the table situations. That might be true, but we have like a much more robust code of ethics, and there's a lot more oversight when it comes to doctors. So I doubt that they'd be able to get away with it if it was illegal to the same degree. So
propagated by most people are fucking pussies. What the fuck are you talking about? You think you know a bitch that is that gangster to put a fucking hot cold wire up her pussy and dig around to try and abort the baby or drink a bottle of bleach? Most people are fucking pussy. Most people don't have the balls to even stick a needle in their arm or cut themselves with a knife. And you expect me to believe that fucking 19-year-old girls are just throwing themselves down entire flights of stairs? Are you fucking stupid?
I think.
And also, I doubt if you you could be referring to the back. Let's say that there are people doing it in like a back, whatever, under the table manner. There's not going to be the same, I guess you'd say, ethical necessity in those instances, right? There wouldn't have to be particular standards, so it probably would go a little bit poorly.
Views are going to very much differ in living in the Bible Belt. I've seen, how that can affect people. I've seen how it affects me as a black person, 112%. So
How so? What's the 12?
What's the 12%?
Yeah. What's the 12 past 100?
I literally went.
It's an expression, man. Come on. Oh my God, he's like literally trying to nit.
What is that? I want to know what her
Projecting,
answer is.
nigga. You nitpick every fucking thing.
anything he.
You
Well,
barely
you have been too. So have I. Like that's the whole nature of this game. But okay.
actually address the points that anyone makes when they're arguing with you. You just attack their personality. You attack the way they look. You call them names. You don't actually address the point.
Man, it's wild, dude.
I went to a restaurant when I was 8 years old, and they told my cheerleading coach that I couldn't go into their restaurant because I was black, and I was in Texas, and it would never happen.
That's terrible.
Again. So there's
Also, wait, hold on.
What does that
I
have to
gotta,
do with
talk about
abortion,
something,
though?
okay? So we brought up Colorado abortion laws, okay? So important to mention here. So abortion in Colorado is legal in all states of the pregnancy. It's one of the 7 states without any term restrictions as to when a pregnancy can be terminated. 59% of adults.
It's really weird. Why don't they have any term restrictions in Colorado? What the fuck? Oh, that's weird.
Said in a poll by the Pew Research Center that abortion should be legal in most cases in Colorado. So one, that's democratic. States' rights, baby. Sucks to suck. You can't be fucking talking about
It's not sucks to suck. That's the fucking deal. That's the deal. Why are you fighting overturning Roe v. Wade in one breath, but in another breath celebrating that Colorado has such loose restrictions on abortion because that's how the majority of the population has voted in that state, because that's the culture over there. That's exactly the point of overturning Roe v. Wade. Let each state decide. If abortion is so important to you, if it's such a necessity for your health as a woman, move to Colorado or California or one of these other
It's not very easy to just pick up and move, but okay.
And
And I would argue that you're probably going to see like a disproportionately. I mean, I don't know. I guess I would say like you're going to see. I don't know. People who tend to get abortions. A lot of it has to do with like the lack of access to financial care, and poorer people live in red states. Like red states tend to be poorer than blue states. I mean, that's just a fact. Like I think all 9 out of 10 donor states in the United States are blue states. A donor state is a state that gives more money in federal taxes than they receive. So like Florida, for instance, like they were bragging about their surplus the other day, but it's not a brag because the only reason they have a surplus is because like New York, Connecticut, California are funding their ability to exist, right? So it's like, hey guys, we have a surplus, and like, but if they didn't get any money from the federal government, which is they get that the federal government has money from collecting federal taxes, they wouldn't exist. So the only point I'm making is that like there's less of a poorer people tend to have a disproportionately higher amount of abortions. Though I imagine in red states they're usually more conservative, so I don't know how the statistics line up. So they may be more inclined to not turn to abortion because they're more religious. I really don't know, but
forsaken states that have abandoned just basic human decency, live it up over there. They're around.
On November 4th, 2008, the initiative was turned down by 73.2% of the voters. Consistent with the rest of the country. That's really interesting that religious fucking weirdos tried to change that in the Colorado Constitution and wanted to turn it into like a person is any fertilized seed, okay? Any fertilized egg is a person. And 73% of Coloradans said, fuck no. But Steven Crowder is mad about that. Why is Steven Crowder?
I have not heard him once address this at all. What do you mean Steven Crowder is mad about this? Steven Crowder doesn't seem to have a problem with it. He may have a problem with it morally, but he has not mentioned that once in this video. His whole issue is people are uneducated.
Okay, no, I just want to correct myself. Well, actually, it depends on the state. Yeah, it seems like it's higher in blue states. Percentage of pregnancies aborted. That's a lot. 22%. Holy fuck. Jesus Christ. Holy shit. 37% in DC. Florida has 24%. That's surprisingly high for a red state. Wow. I guess it depends on the density of the population as well. Which kind of makes sense. 31% New York. Jesus Christ. It's interesting. I wonder what they define as an abortion. I wonder if Plan B is considered an abortion statistic here. Okay. I wonder if I imagine it has to be. Like, is Plan B considered an abortion? I wonder. Yeah, it is apparently. Okay, that makes sense. That's weird though. Like, most people are just popping a pill, which I mean, you could argue they may not. If they are including Plan B, it's weird because like you're not even pregnant when you take Plan B, you're not even like pregnant at that point. You're just preventing a pregnancy. And if they add that as part of the statistics, which I don't know, it seems like they do, but I can't say for sure. Then that would be very bizarre.
About what it means to overturn Roe v. Wade. Again, this is what I mean. When you can't attack a man for his points, you make shit up, you pull shit out your fucking ass, and you point at other things trying to distract your very dim audience, obviously.
Crowder seeing himself into Coloradans' business if he wants states' rights. Can someone explain that to me really quickly? Oh, probably not, because it has nothing to do with fucking states' rights at all. It has everything to do with just like having a dumbass fucking...
He has never once said he has an issue with the fact that abortion is so loosely regulated in Colorado as a result of states' rights and states' laws.
Well, he probably would have an issue with that. I don't see why I mean, like, I don't think it's an epic nay on Crowder to say that like he would have a problem with abortion rights in other states. Like, I mean, if you're morally against it, you should have a problem with it. You know what I mean? Like it is kind of it is a little bit of a, it's like, you know what, if you think that abortion's so bad, don't just be like, hey, we should have state choice. That would be the first step, and the next step would be to try to get it banned federally. Because if you think it's so morally abhorrent, you shouldn't be okay with it happening like right next, you know what I mean, like right next door basically. Oh fuck it, dude, I'm gonna get so nay-nayed.
Never once, not once said that in this entire video, nor have you shown us any evidence that he said it in other videos. But this is what happens. You know, your little fanboys, they all fucking worship you. And so they just, you say this without backing it up at all. And they just run with it. And that's how you get 73% of a population to be so fucking delusional when it comes to a topic like this. Because you are...
I don't think it's delusional. I think that most people just think that you should be able to get abortions and they're okay with it. I don't think it's a delusion. I just think that you're doing everything you can to emotionally charge it to make it seem like people are like really bad fundamentally. When most of the time people just don't really agree with your position. They just think that you're wrong. So...
our mainstream media. You are just as controversial and provocative as me. Probably even more. But because you say all the right things, you get to be hoisted to the top of this industry. Be another Twitch and YouTube golden boy, advocating for the murder of babies after they're born.
You're so... bro, I can't take you seriously. I can't take you seriously when you say that, because he does not advocate for that at all. Why is he not playing? Okay.
All right, Hasan. It's been real. This was just one, though.
Okay, well.
One by one. I'm gonna take every fucking video down, nigga. One by one, we gonna break it down. Hey, thanks for watching. How about you like the video and subscribe?
Well, guys, we found the only guy I've ever seen that can make Hasan look good. Interesting stuff. Okay. Cool. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and another special shout out to all my Patreon and Twitch subs. If you'd like to support this channel further than you already have by just watching the video alone, go down to the links below where you can sub on my Patreon, which will allow you to get your name on this beautiful black wall. Or you can go to the Twitch page and you can actually use a free Amazon Prime sub, if you have Amazon Prime, to subscribe. Thank you very much, guys. Take care.